We are going to do this live on a couple different platforms. So happy for those of you who are here with Zoom. Every Wednesday at 2 o'clock Mountain, 4 o'clock Eastern, we do this where I go through, answer your questions, and also make sure that I show you some of the new best ways you can protect yourself and also grow your business. This week on that, let me make sure those of you guys who are on with Zoom, be sure you mute yourself, but you're always welcome to unmute yourself with questions and participate in any way. So great to have you guys on here. This week, I'm going to go through. There's a lot of people that are super worried these days about AI in all ways. Everybody from the Pope to presidents of countries to even dictators who are super worried about AI somehow or another being some dangerous, terrible thing that's going to come in and get us in trouble. I want you to know that there is a lot of danger out there with AI, but right now it's the people that are making AI so dangerous. So this weekend, I go through and show you some of the things that you can do to help people and make sure you've got a business, because there's so many scammers out there. There needs to be some super men and super women. I know I've got my Superman t-shirt on today, but with my haircut, lack of hair, look a little bit more like Lex Luthor. But super excited to have you guys on here. Make sure if you have questions that you ask them. And I'm going to start off today, and I'm going to show you that when you train your avatar, an agent, I guess there's different ways and different platforms that people call them, that if you do it properly, it really understands a lot and how to create systems for you. And I'm also going to show you some of the things that are out there right now. Video AI, like I did for this week's video, which I did that with prompts, is very expensive out there right now. So you better be pretty good if you're going to try to do video like what I did with this week's video. And so I'm going to give you some different tools that you can use if you ever want to do something like that. But I'm going to focus mostly in helping you understand the power that you have by coming on these weekly calls, asking questions, because this is about all we do is just constantly search what's out there and figure out ways to be able to help benefit you and your business. So let's share the screen, and let me hit the share screen there. And I'm going to start to share some of these things with you, that what I did, because we're just hearing so much right now of just the dangers of AI. And I will tell you, people should be worried. And I'll emphasize, they should be more worried about the people rather than the machines right now. Of course, they're using machines to do it. And then after that, we've got Mark Osborne on the call. Mark, to unmute yourself and say hi. And we're going to do it just like I say every week. If you have questions, if you have things that you need help with, come on the call, send me your problem that you're working on, and I can actually show you some ways to handle it. So before we get into the deep fake, Mark, what's the problem that you're working on? And we'll do that right after I go through the deep fake, but I want to introduce you and have people know what you're working on and what I'm going to help you solve today.
Thanks. Yeah. So I've put together a program for startups to help them essentially leverage AI to implement a complete marketing and sales strategy, but on a lot more streamlined basis and at a more affordable price point, because it leverages AI. And so I have a set of training courses and then a series of prompts, but I also don't want to give them my intellectual property and expose the prompts that I've worked really hard to, sort of train and build. And so Jeff is going to walk me through how to do that today, which I'm very excited about.
Well, I'm gonna go through that, and I just remind you guys every single week, as you have different problems or concerns like what Mark talked about, if you don't want to pay for a one-on-one session with me, then just come on in to these calls, send me your information beforehand, email it to me, or you can do what Mark did. I think you did email it to me. So you can email it to me, you can send it inside the WhatsApp group, but or you can send me a DM, and I will help you with that. And let me show you just a couple different things. Right now, we have a couple new features inside of Bimodo. You can see right here, there's this search. So we're working out a couple different bugs with it, and it doesn't, if you turn the search on, and I'll show you how I've been doing this back and forth, but it will actually add live search to your chats and your conversations. What we're trying to work right now is it's not working simultaneously with your avatar, so you need to turn it on and off. That should be fixed here in the next upload. But what I did is I actually just asked, oh, this is the thing for Mark. So let me get out of Mark's part and I'll come back to that, Mark. But I've been training my avatar pretty extensively. And I have a new avatar that I've been working on that's called Naval. Does anybody know who Naval Ravikant is? If you don't, strongly recommend that you follow him on X, Twitter. Super intelligent guy. And has anybody ever heard of him? Anybody follow him? Well, make sure you do. His name is Naval Ravikant, and this is an incredible guy. So I've been training an avatar to output content like him. If you have questions on how to train your Bimoto avatar, just go to bimoto.com, go to e-learning, and then just right here, this power launch, there's a video right here that says training your avatar. So if you come inside of here, it'll walk you through step by step how you can do it. And one of the things that it'll show you, let me just come right in here. One of the things that it will do for you is it's going to talk to you about these templates right here. It's a step-by-step process that you can walk through to train your avatar so it knows you, it knows your style, it writes like you, and it's a very simple way to do it. You can upload very large documents, and once you've done that, it's really simple. So you just walk through step by step, and this is going to give you an agent, a GPT, whatever you want to call it. We call it avatars, and I strongly recommend that you take a look at it. So it's a really simple process. But if you have any questions, you can always give me you can send me a message and I'll help you train it. But take a look at that and that'll help you do it, because that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I trained this Bimoto, this Naval Ravikant avatar, but this one has been using just my Jeffery AI. So I'm going to switch it to that. And I just asked it a really simple question because it knows about me. It knows about Bimoto. It knows about the goals of my customers. It knows just about anything. And I can ask it questions about my customers. I can ask it questions about Bimoto's current features, its future features. It knows about the problems that my clients typically have because I'll load it on there. And I just asked it the question. I'd say, reference my avatar and files and come up with an idea to help the customers of Bimoto to understand how they can protect their own business or other small business owners that spells, I don't even know what I was trying to say there, that comes from deepfake AI. And so what it did is it just went through and it analyzed my clients, and it started to go through the problems that they're going to have and how it can address them. So it created a system for me because it knows my customers specifically and what they need. An educational content series. Now, I'm not going to focus on deepfake, but this is what I do every single time that I create a series. Is I do this because I've trained my avatar. There are templates right now that you can do if you wanted to do a course right here. So if you want to do this and you don't know how to do the templates the same way that I do, you can actually just go to your templates and type course creator, and it will actually help you come up with ideas for a course. It'll help you create a profile for your customer, name your course, constructing descriptions and objectives. And Mark, this is something that you would very much be able to do with yours. Then it creates a detailed course outline. Then it helps you promote it. And then it helps you do the content for the course. So a lot of these different steps that I have in a lot of these templates, all you've got to do is just click that template and fill out some of your information, and it will help you build a course. But I a lot of times, just because I'm very familiar, of course, with prompt engineering, I spend all day doing this. I'm going to go back to the first of this. All I did was ask it a simple question, and it output for me all of the different things that it suggests for my target market, because it knows them very, very well. And then it started to go through and it gave me some action plans. And if I like those, which I did, I then go through and ask it to give me specifics on each one of those. So as you go through this, and like I say, it's given me an overview for deep fake awareness. One of the things that you need to understand is 95% of the people out there have no idea how to use Chat GPT, Claude, you name it. They're very, very novice. Very novice. You, just by attending a couple of these different systems, working through a couple things, you are advanced compared to 95% of the people out there. Every time that I meet with somebody that I think is going to be very, very advanced, I'm surprised that they don't know how to train GPTs or agents on Chat GPT. It's very confusing to them. So if you can learn a very specific AI type of skill, then you're better than 95, 96% of the people out there. And deep fake right now, there is a giant opportunity to help people with these growing issues that are coming on. I'll give you an example. Now, keep in mind that right now, deep fake videos are pretty expensive to make. So I'll give you an example. This is one that I did on another platform called Veo, and I typed it in and gave it an instruction. Hopefully that you guys can hear this.
Cuba invades Florida?
Hi, I'm Sarah, reporting live from the beach.
So right now it only does 8 seconds at a time, but that right there was not a cheap little video to make. So understand, and then I did another one, and then another one, and then another one, until I started to get it to the way that I want it to be. So if you're pretty good with prompt engineering, there is a lot of things that can be done.
This broadcast to bring you some breaking news.
And it still screws up. So it didn't even have, it had the beach, a beautiful woman in the foreground, but it didn't have her speech. So it's still continuing to get better. And this is probably my favorite one on here that it created. But
I'm here, live in Miami, and today the community has.
Very confusing, of course, on when it's done, but understand that this is just the beginning. The people look real, they sound real. It's still a bit of a process to be able to get them to perform the way that you want them to. But this is one that I used in the video I made this week, and this looks extraordinarily real. And I'm going to show you some of the dangers that are coming out.
I'm standing here on the beach, and folks, there's no invasion. Mom, Dad, don't panic. This is all AI generated. Grandma.
And then it ran out of time. But so you've got about 8 seconds at a time, but it's going to get more and more powerful. I can tell you the people behind her looked real. She sounded real. And this is just going to get easier and easier. And a lot of people are completely ill prepared. So I asked Bimodo to analyze my client and how to start to create a complete process that if I wanted to focus on that, and I can tell you, most businesses are completely not prepared. It gave me a step-by-step and phases of what I could do with very simple processes. I then asked it, I turned it on the internet mode, and I asked it what the most common AI fakes are. Right now, this is very easy to do, by the way. If you have anybody that's on the internet, you can get their voice, you can download it, and you can train that. But a deep fake voice was used to impersonate a CEO, convincing a bank manager to transfer $35 million to fraudulent accounts. Can you imagine that poor bank manager? There was a finance worker for a company named Arup that approved a $25.6 million transfer because they deep faked his CFO on a video call. Now, this has happened to me. Both of these has happened. Now, I didn't fall for it, but I had somebody asking me for money, and they said that they were in Singapore, and it was a live call. And I just said, why is it light behind you? And why do you have an American style home? And the person couldn't answer it. They were trying to get me to transfer $1,500, so a small amount. But you need to understand, I don't have $25.6 million to transfer, but I sure have $1,500 to transfer. And this is happening to my company right now all the time, that I get emails from Rick Tigges, who is the CFO of Bimodo, telling me to approve a transfer. all I have to do is go in there and see that that's not him. He's not using our Bimoto email or email template, and I just have to go in and see that the email is from a fake Gmail account. But it comes from Rick Tigas. It makes it look like him, and understand that this is happening all the time. Right now, it's happening. For example, just recently, a deepfake video of President Zelensky broadcasted instructing soldiers to surrender. Right now, this is super simple to do, which is social media impersonation. That an Instagram mimicking a company's CEO posted content designed to embarrass the CEO and damage the company's reputation. Guys, this is a big opportunity if you start to understand that these small businesses have $1,500, $2,000, $10,000 to lose. And so once I started to understand this, and these are the most common ones, I turned it on the internet search and had it go into it. This, like I say, you can't have your avatar and your search on at the same time. This week we're working on it, but these are very, very clever and they look very good. So one of the things that I asked it to do as I went through this is I then asked it to I'll show you with Mark. Once you have some of these things on here, you can ask it to do specific things to help you prepare for that client. So I'm going to go into Mark's and I'm going to show you how this goes hand in hand with creating systems for people. But I want you to understand that deepfake is coming, and you have an opportunity, if you understand it, using some of these prompts and these templates to easily start to help people and help them become more prepared for some of these different things that are out there. Right here, before I go any further, I know that may be a little bit information, but these were very just simple commands because I've trained Jeffery AI to know about my clients and to know how to help them, and combining that with the search, internet search in between the avatar, I was able to effectively mix in some of the problems and come up with solutions for them. Any questions for me on this? I know on some of these calls I go a little bit fast, but if you have something, please put it in the chat or just unmute yourself, and I'll be happy to answer how I did some of those if that didn't make sense.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, Mark.
So from a sort of content creation standpoint, videos are a great asset to have, and we don't always have access to great filming studios and all those things. Have you seen any good platforms for taking, content that you were creating within Bimoto and then turning it into a video asset that looks like a talking head kind of interview that doesn't look too fakey? Or today, most of the sort of affordable ones wind up looking too fakey to be.
The affordable ones are awful. They're still awful. Give it a week and they'll be better. Well, not quite a week. I'm exaggerating slightly. These were all created in Veo 3. And I have a corporate account. Everything I do is on Google. It's a version of Gemini. These are beautiful, but they are very difficult to get them to obey you. I ran out of my credits within 15 minutes. Now I had fun, but it rarely obeyed me. Like this one, for example, as I pull it up, this one looked great. But you'll see
I'm
that
standing here on the beach, and folks, there's no invasion. Mom, Dad, don't panic. This
see
is
this?
an AI-generated deepfake.
So I gave it the command after she was done to turn into a bird and fly away, which it did, but it put in some really fake text underneath it, and I did not tell it to do that. So the point is that Veo 3 is quite good and getting better, but it is not cheap. And if you want to do it, it's just going to be there are some of the best ones are 60 cents I think per minute of putting it out. You could blow through hundreds of dollars, but they're going to get better and better and better. And there's a company that we're working on right now that's got a patent that's got some really good ones, and we'll start to show you that as they come out. Good question though. Any other questions? If not, I'll turn to you, Mark. All right, well, cool. Mark, I'm going to show you guys what Mark sent me right here. So Mark has, and one of the beautiful things, there's a lot of people that use Bimoto that don't tell their clients they're using Bimoto. I'm okay with that. when you have the ability to create unlimited, for example, unlimited amounts of avatars here, there's a lot of people that make avatars and create content for a lot of their clients. Then there's other people that actually do white labels, and we have a new feature that's called communities. And in these communities, you have the ability to create templates for people. Now, the most valuable thing that I would say that Bimoto has is all of the intellectual property that I've put into all of these templates. Now, of course, it's really cool to be able to create avatars, but if you're trying to protect it, especially if you're doing a $30 a month program, $50, $100 a month, you don't want to just give people all of this intellectual property that you've created. So, for example, a lot of people could use these very well on ChatGPT. This is how I protect it because I'm an admin, or I created this one. And my right here is my prompt. It's all protected in Bimoto. It's very easy for people just to click it and then fill in the blanks. And all of my intellectual property behind it is protected. So with Mark, what he did is he sent over to me, he has an offer that he wanted me to help him out with. As this is what he does. He has a live training, and he sends founders questions, and then he runs a prompt within Bimoto to be able to get the answers for people. And then if they have questions or feedback, they can give him a call or email him. This is his process right here of all of these. It's quite small, and I'm not going to share it with everybody, Mark. But he's got this process that he spent a lot of time on, and then he's thinking of some new features that he wants to do. After that, I sent him a question and said, "What is the main result you want from your customers?" So all I did is I went into Bimoto. Let's go into Bimoto where I did this for you earlier, Mark. And I put inside of it your document that you sent me right here. I put that into Bimoto. I just downloaded it as a PDF, uploaded it to my avatar, and I just said, reference this document, and here are my goals. But I want you to analyze this document as well as basically the information below and interpret what I'm trying to do. Tell me how I can improve them and how I can better assist my clients. That's one step. Then the next thing is then provide me the step-by-step process to implement these goals for my clients. So it's really important. And a lot of times when I work with people, it's one thing to train your avatar with this really cool document, all the goals of what you want for people on there. But it's also really helpful to have a partner analyze those for you. And it's really helpful then not just to analyze them, but to then tell you how you could improve them. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to always accept the advice, Mark, but let's see what it did with this. The analysis of this. So your goal is to create a solid marketing and sales strategy. You're aiming to create a comprehensive document that clients can use as a foundation for action, collaboration, and delegation. This approach not only fosters accountability, but also enhances clarity within the organization. Now, you didn't write that to me. How well did it do interpreting all of what you sent over with the brief amount of information you sent me?
Pretty good. I mean, considering how brief what I sent you was very good. I would have probably provided a little more detail if I was going to train it a little better.
Especially what you would do is if you programmed your avatar, and once again, when I say programmed, it's really simple to do using those steps that I explained right here inside of the templates. Right here, just step 1, step 2, step 3. If you were to take the 20 minutes to follow these steps and send them to your avatar, it would be even more complete of what it's recommending that you do. Then it talked about you helping them with the content marketing strategy. This is the feedback it gave. So your existing approach may benefit from additional customization based on different learning preferences. Providing various formats of content, videos, articles, and audios can help you. So it's going through and giving you some different suggestions. I know you thought of some of these, but it's, a real-time feedback template, and you're going to see how I asked it to create a template for you. And these are something that you could then load into Bimodo under your account or your organization. Automation and scalability, progress and accountability metrics. So it's giving you different suggestions. You can reply to it, and then right here it's giving you a step-by-step to implement these on this. So I liked the feedback that it gave me. So from there, I went through and I just step by step asked it to give me and build out for me all of what you were asking for. So I said, excellent. Maybe if it may not be excellent. If you don't like it, you tell it, or you can edit it right here. So you could click this and you can edit it by hand, right? I'm too lazy. I like to tell it what to do and it fixes it. Okay. So if you don't like what it's done, you tell it you give it its feedback, or reference, or have it do an internet search and improve it. But I said, great. Now I want you to give me a detailed version and step-by-step implementation of one of its recommendations. Create an onboarding framework. So all I did was copy this and said, love it. Now do this for me. That's the beauty of it, is you could, if you're really specific and tell it what to do, it will then create that for you. So then what it did for that particular step is it gave you a way to onboard your clients, how to familiarize yourself with them, understand the mission of your program, introduce platforms. So if you're going to be an affiliate of Bimodo and have them use the platform, you would give them some things that are inside of your community that you've made. And there's community tools within Bimodo for developers like Mark now. Set expectations, and then it's recommending an onboarding material, a welcome kit. And each one of these, if you like it, you say, great, now build it out for me. Great, now do it. Great, now do it. Or that was bad, you completely missed it, do this, right? And introductory videos, written documentations, then how to do the onboarding call, self-paced. So this is a really long output of a single sentence that it built out all of those steps for you. Are you following me so far on what I'm recommending that you do on each step of this?
Absolutely.
Cool. So it goes through and it gives you a bunch of steps to onboard the client. And then I said, great. Now I want you to give me some design, to create these templates. So I like to do it step by step like this. And some people say, why don't you just build it all out at the same time? Well, then I have to do 20, 30 pages and it doesn't make sense on it. But with this, I can go step by step and make sure it's right. I didn't need it to record all my training sessions. So I just skipped right to this one and said, now make them for me. Because in this, it told you to do a customer analysis, buyer's journey mapping, competitive landscape, and then it's suggesting you make templates. Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to have Bimodo do it. So I gave it that. And right here, it then starts to give you the structure for each one of these and what it should have. And if you like that structure, once again, I just said, great, now do it. Now make one for me. And it created an actual LLM prompt, learning language model. That's what Bimodo is. That's what Gemini, that's what ChatGPT is. It created one of these for you. And you can see on Bimodo how to turn each of those into templates. So you'd be able to just copy these right here and turn it into a Bimodo template that is unique to you. And it would create for your clients something that they could do on an onboarding. And then you would be able to run it through Bimodo and analyze how prepared they are, what they need, what you can do to help them. So basically what I'm saying is that as you load your avatar, and anytime you like something that your avatar output, all you need to do is hit share message, select the avatar that you're working on right there, just Jeffery AI. And I'm just going to put test. But if I like it and it truly captured something that I want to be able to share, I can just send it over to my avatar. And in the future, my avatar will reference that as a template of output. Does that make sense? water through a fire hose. I know as I go through some of those with it, but the main thing that I recommend as you go through, I'm going to go into the avatar. I'll show you right here with the avatar. You can see it sent over that test. So I'm just going to erase it because that's your content, not mine.
Sure.
But as I go back into it, here is my recommendation. Here is your steps. Step 1, go to bimoto.com. Oops, I need to remove that. Bimoto.com. Go to e-learning and learn how to train your avatar. Okay. With the avatar that's in there, use these particular templates. Whoops, I'm logged out of that particular page. I go into these templates right here. Go to all. I go to the avatar trainer, take 20 to 30 minutes to walk through, and it'll walk you through on that video how to do this step by step. Once it's in there, then you can upload documents for it to review inside of your avatar, just right inside of here. You can upload documents. You can send different outputs over to it for reference. And once it's well trained, now you can talk to it and ask it to do very simple things for you. Okay. So as an example with this one right here, once I trained an avatar and I uploaded your document, then I can just ask it to do step by step the different things I wanted to do based upon the information that you sent over to me. Does that make sense?
And I'll put a question on there that I think I know the answer to, but might be valuable for the rest of the group. I noticed that the system really likes a very precise sub niche. And my business serves lots of different things. Like in addition to startups, what this program is focused on, I also serve more established companies. But what I think the recommendation here is to build a different avatar for each sort of sub segment of my business, and then reference that as I'm doing the different things for the different parts, rather than trying to build one for my business that might cover 2 to 3 different products, 2 to 3 different target audiences. It's really building one that's specific to each.
100%. You're exactly right with that. So I'll give you an example right here. All of my main Bimoto marketing, which is a little bit more corporate, is done by this avatar right here. And if you look inside of it, you can see that the name of this avatar, and that's part of the avatar trainer. It will do this for you, and its purpose, what it's trying to do, and it has information about the Bimoto app mastermind. It has information about me, and it knows me quite well as what has Jeff Boyle done in his life. So if you were to do a web search about me, maybe you could find some of this, but this is very much programmed to me. It has information about our power launch, information about the values of what Bimoto can do, the brand voice, how it should be written, comprehensive company overview, how to write more like a human, but it's more of a corporate type of account. So it does know me, and I've uploaded all of this into me, the number of companies I've found, that I have a law degree, that I have a diverse skill set. So it knows a lot about me. Okay. But my avatar right here, Jeffery AI, it really knows me. It knows how to write like me. I've had to analyze my writing. I've had to analyze, I've uploaded into it things such as right here. Let me see. Uh, right here, the causes of failure for people. That comes from Napoleon Hill. Topics that I like to write about, how Bimoto works, how I like to approach content, how I like to be able to use controversial language to get people to interact with social media. So this one does all of my social media. This one right here is trained to help. I used to be a personal trainer. So for all of my fitness, it makes my workouts for me. Don't even need to think about it. It knows me. It knows my goals. So what Mark is saying is 100% true. If you have an agency, if you have multiple clients, or if, like with me, I have multiple businesses, this is a business, this is a business, this is a business, this is a business. So with these, each business has been trained. And now whenever I need to create content for any of them, I don't need to do a big mind shift. All I have to do is shift the avatar inside of the chat. So you can see inside of this, I can switch it to Jeffery AI. I can switch it to Naval Ravikant, who writes like a super intelligent guy. Justin Welsh, this guy has a lot of information about LinkedIn online. So it doesn't matter who it is. I can put that, and it has basically a database of the information that the famous people have put online about themselves. And then the ones about my business know a lot about me as I go through it. Does that make sense? Anyone questions on that? Concerns? Mark, I went through fairly quickly with you on what I was doing, but the main thing is train your avatar. And Bimoto.com's got the video that helps you do that. Upload documents of what you're thinking. Okay, if you find something online that you really like, turn it into a PDF, just hit print and PDF and upload it to your avatar. So for example, when I was raising money, I downloaded a very interesting way to do valuation for a business, the value of a business to get money, and I uploaded it to Bimoto, and I said, analyze this and help and compare this to what Bimoto does, and help me come up with a value for Bimoto, and it did. Right. So this guy, all I did was go on the internet, and if you don't know how to do that, just go to ESPN. So I'm going to go to ESPN. And if this were an article about something in my business, all I'd have to do is come in, hit print, hit print, and then turn it into a PDF right here. And so instead of the destination right there, save as PDF. So I could turn that into a document, upload that to Bimoto, and then it helped me determine a value for my company because I also gave it information about what Bimoto does. So if you train your avatar, it will know your customers. It knows your customers' pains, concerns, needs. Then, Mark, all you have to do is ask it simple questions. And once it's given you some of your goals, you can say, great, turn that into a course for me. Or use the course creator, and it will reference what you've already done and create a course for you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
All right, guys. Any other questions? Always wonderful to have you on here. I encourage you, if you have your questions, make sure that you send them in. I love answering these. I love helping you with the different problems that you're running with your business, and always here to help. Thank you so much for being on, Mark. If you need more help with that in the future, and if someone else doesn't volunteer, and it always seems to me, I offer my $250 an hour advice for free during this. And by the way, the price keeps going up. I'm really proud of myself, but bring it here, and I can always help you with your particular problem and help you make it work on the platform. So thanks for being here, guys. And if there's no other questions, we'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Hey, guys.